Ta ta ta. Hello. Hey, it's Mike Duffy checking in. Reminder, I've not gone live yet today, so it's December 5th, my first time live today. Uh, Ended up with emergency calls today, so not expected, but we can help you out in a pinch. So any clients, anybody who calls for technology support, doesn't matter. We can come same day to you and help you out. So anyway, wasn't expecting emergency call today, and then other things happened, and I'm like, yay! Supposed to work on some stuff for Friday, and now I have to work on that this evening, but no problem. I wanted to remind you that I still have guest vouchers for BX networking. So this Friday, December 8th, I am presenting in front of a group of Calgary business owners at BX Networking. If you haven't heard about BX, you should come out and meet some local business owners and have breakfast with us and chat and see if we can help you grow your business. It's what it's about. Meet new people, make new friends, and grow your business, and practice your pitch on a weekly basis. No strings attached with BX, which is great. So if you travel a lot or can't commit to weekly meetings every single week, BX is the place to be. So these are still up for grabs. So you're not gonna break my heart if you don't show up, but I know we need more guests because the group is growing, and it's always great to have new people come out and learn about their businesses to see how we can help them out. So come Friday, December 8th, 8 to 10 a.m. breakfast, Hotel Blackfoot, Calgary, Alberta. And yeah, so it's December, and how do you like my look? I've had so many people tell me I should keep wearing a white suit jacket to all client. I don't know how I feel about climbing under a computer wearing this, but I've worn it to meetings yesterday. I wore it to meetings today. Everybody thinks this is snazzy, and I got the Mupo Entertainment denim shirt underneath. So anyway, I like the look. Many other people seem to appreciate the look as well. So perfect. What are we going to talk about today? You know what? I just want to invite everybody out to BX on Friday. Thursday night, if you're in Calgary, it's the first Thursday of December. It's Ryan's Roundup. So you can go register yourself at ryansroundup.com. It's a networking event at Ranchman's at like 5 to 7 p.m. So that is always great. If you're looking for more business and more customers and more friends in Calgary, go hit up that networking group. I've been going to it for years, and I've met many clients through ryansroundup.com. And actually, you know what? On my drive home, I signed up for a bunch of stuff this week, a bunch of I don't know if they're courses, but I always like to hear entrepreneur stories, because when you're an entrepreneur, no matter how long you've been an entrepreneur for, no matter how long you've been in business for, let's say I'm pretty much approaching 20 years. So I know what my road path, I know what my path has been, the road traveled. I know what road I've traveled for 20 years, the path I've been on for 20 years. I can see what issues I ran into, how I overcame them, and all these pitfalls that you run into. I know from you identify different levels of entrepreneurship and business ownership, and then when you deep dive into something like 10x business training and coaching, you learn about breakpoints, and at what financial level you are at breakpoint 1, breakpoint 2. I haven't even hit breakpoint 1 yet, because I've not been able to get over $1 million a year, and I'm staring at my wall because I have Brandon Dawson's slides on my wall, and I'm looking at the breakpoints right now, and I can't even see them. But after being in business for 20 years, I realized I'm not even at breakpoint 1, where you're supposed to pretty much at the point where you hire people, and you're like, okay, so why am I bringing this up? Well, So I've been doing 10x coaching for 4 years now. 4 years. So I learned a lot of stuff in the last 4 years that I wish I would have known 20 years ago. But would I have been ready for that knowledge 20 years ago? No, because I needed to spend my 10,000 hours. I needed to spend a good solid 5 to 8 years learning the craft of IT, and then another 5, 8 years learning what to and what not to do in the business of IT and marketing. There's all these components of running a business, right? You're not going to learn everything overnight. You're not going to learn everything in 3 years. You're not going to learn in 5 years. It's a lifelong progression path of learning. And you're going to become frustrated. You're going to get into certain partnerships, relationships, business agreements with people, and which seem all good. And then 30, 60, 90 days in, you're just like, what the hell did I just do? Maybe you're in a low point in your business, or maybe there was nobody in your network of business owners that you talked to who had any better suggestion, and that was the best suggestion. You have to go through that pain in order to learn something, come out on the other side and say, I'm never going to do that again. So anyway, a couple weeks ago, I signed up for this digital nomad summit, and I'm like, I'm not sure what it's going to be like, but there's these two smooth talking sales guys, and I know they had they're 2 comma award winners. So if you don't know what two comma award winners are, those are people who've sold, I think, over $1 million on their website through ClickFunnels. I'm not at that level. I would like to be at that level. I'm not at that level. I've played with ClickFunnels for a website and did not go as planned, and I had to turn that off because I was just not attracting the right type of clients to my funnel where they would buy my services through a funnel. Just didn't work for my service-based business, but it works for a lot of people. So props to the people who use ClickFunnels and have been able to win 2 comma awards. Anyway, so I saw this, video, and I'm like, okay, these guys are digital nomads, and they're going to have this summit where they're interviewing digital business owners and asking them what their path is like. And I'm like, okay, I'm preparing myself to go international, set up an international office, and literally be a digital nomad. So this sounds good. I should watch all these interviews and see if I can learn something from people who are actually running digital only consulting businesses where they don't have where they don't have to do anything on site, or very limited local delivery. It's all courses or products that are shipped to you, or consulting or coaching or whatever. There's a lot of businesses out there where they don't have to go and do on-site deployment. We're a hybrid model, so we can do a lot of stuff remotely. But then, of course, if you're selling a computer, setting up a computer, setting up a printer, whatever, a lot of that stuff requires physical setup, right? So we're hybrid, a lot of remote, and then the other component is on site. So anyway, I've not watched all the digital nomad stuff because I was going to watch it on the drive to work today and the drive home today, which I did. But on the way back, so I've been learning good stuff I've watched 3 or 4 of the digital nomad interviews, and it's like a lot of it resonates. So you're like, okay, I've already done this and I've already done this. Like there's a couple things where you're like, okay, I went through those steps, and this person went through those steps, and that makes sense, right? And then the next thing they say is, I did A, B, and C, and you're like, oh my God, that is such a smart idea, doing A, B, and C. And I'm like, I need to do that. I don't have this in my email signature. I'm like, oh, people are just analyzing their business and then saying, oh, like I made all these mistakes, A, B, and C were mistakes, but D, E, F just completely changed the business. But I'm like, well, yeah, because they were going back and analyzing what they've done and services they've provided to clients to realize some things you don't make a lot of money off of, and other things are some things you spend a ton of time on. That's your learning curve. You spend a ton of time on them. You don't make a lot of money off of them. And then when you refine your products and services, you can spend a little bit of time on them and reap huge rewards from them. But you got to be perpetually testing a bunch of ideas, letting the customers, letting the audience decide what they find valuable to them, because things that you you think you're going to be valuable to your end customers, they're not going to care about. And stuff you're like, this is ridiculous. This should not be that valuable. And your clients love it. So it's good to hear other people's stories, because they will go through, if they're perfectionists, they will go through all of their steps in building their business and point out what they were happy that decisions that they're happy they made, and other decisions that they're not happy they made. But they, when you're a business owner making a sober decision, not under influence of drugs or alcohol or whatever, some things sound really good but they just don't pan out because there's other variables going on that you didn't know about. So I'm enjoying the Digital Nomad Summit, but they're just like videos I have to log in and go and listen to, and they're about an hour long each interview. So it's good for while you're driving. I usually listen to audiobooks or music to pump myself up. But I was like, I've paid for these Digital Nomad interviews. I should watch them. However, today I got distracted. I got distracted because of Alex Hormozy. And if you don't know who Alex Hormozy is, he's got books, $100 million offers. Like listening to him, he drops so much truth bombs, because he's a marketing guy who also owns a bunch of gyms, and he owns a ton of businesses, right? But in all of his books, he breaks down all the mistakes he learned, and then how he learned they were mistakes. So his mentors or friends or whomever came in, they're like, "Why are you doing this?" And he's like, "Well, because this is really working." Yes, I'm on. So anyway, but Hormozy today, I took screenshots of it. So he's on Facebook, but he's also on X. He's a lot of places, and he's been doing lives recently. So I think 2 weeks ago on a Friday, I just get notices when certain people go live, and if I'm driving, I'm going to listen to it. But today, so I got distracted with Alex Hormozy today. He's been doing live question and answer. So literally just people who are following him are getting into his lives and asking him questions, and everybody's at a different level of business. So it's really interesting to find out that people were bringing up their stories about how they failed as an entrepreneur. And he's like, but you did this and you did this, you did all this stuff, and you're calling yourself a failure? They're like, well, I'm not doing it anymore. He's like, you were testing out your ideas, your services, and your products, and yeah, you failed, but you just went and got a job. You're able to make and like pay your bills and all this stuff. So you should really relaunch in like 3 to 6 months and do A, B, C, D, E, and I think you're gonna kill it. And they're like, oh my God, you're actually telling me to go back and retry what I failed at for the last 6 years? And he's like, yes, go back and try it, because you're just doing it wrong and nobody's telling you you're doing it wrong. So today on Facebook, Alex Hormozy had episode 1. It's called Advice for Hard Days. And I thoroughly enjoyed it, because I drove 45-minute drive home. He probably talked to at least 5 people, and they were just dropping down, all these things that this is the best quote. Life is hard. Believing it should be easier makes it harder. And I know a lot of people, a lot of business owners are like, Mike, this business is hard, this is hard, and this is hard, and this is hard. I'm like, life is supposed to be hard, because once you accomplish things, you feel a sense of accomplishment. If life wasn't hard, nobody would do anything. They would just sit there and just not do anything, because life's not hard. They have it on easy street. The reason life is hard is because you're supposed to test your abilities, find your purpose, be authentic human, and then meet as many people as you can to find out who can utilize your services. That's the purpose. That's your authenticity, and that's how you develop your omnipresence. And boom, that is my speech for Friday. Be authentic to grow your business 10x. 10x, 10x. You have a good night. I'm probably not live streaming again tonight. I'll probably do it in the morning as long as there's no emergency. Actually, I have to go drop off a computer tomorrow. So Live will be early. I'm just remembering I'm going to drive like to Prentice, Alberta. So, and that is a drive. But anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good night. Be purposeful, be authentic, and omnipresent. And if you're in the 10x world, you know what this means. It's 10x.